regeneration of the city of Birmingham has proved a major bonus for indoor sport. Now, as well as the National Exhibition Centre, it offers, at a cost of £51 million, the new National Indoor Arena, officially opened last October. In all, 30 different sports will benefit, and over the next 3 years, it will play host to 5 different World Championships. And now, for the first time, it provides the venue for the 27th holding of Gymnastics Champions All. As usual, there's a full international entry, with all the major countries of the sport represented: the Commonwealth of Independent States, Romania, the United States and Germany. And this time, from Great Britain, 3 entrants in both the men's and women's events. And you'll note, too, there are gymnasts from one of the new countries, Slovenia. But the first gymnast we see is representing the Commonwealth of Independent States. He is, in fact, a Russian, Alexander Kolyvanov, who starts on the floor. And watching him is Mitch Fenner.
Opens with a double layered somersault. That's such a relaxed approach to his gymnastics. Excellent combination. A little bit low on the front somersault there, the punch front from the double twisting back. But always that lovely pace and rhythm to his work. Achieves full split on that balance. Now that's unusual. And a triple twist to finish. The landing, as with the start, just a slight hesitation, but a great performance from Kolyvanov. Strong gather into the round-off. Pulls hard in the backflip. And that, the double layered somersault, which began the routine. Whip over somersault, high into a double twisting back somersault and the punch front. There the low landing, but the difficulty was immense. This was how he closed the routine. A triple twisting back somersault, and there just a couple of paces and a low landing.
And the judges give him 9.65. And Kolyvanov establishing an early lead. 9.65 his score. Hibbert in 3rd, Marvin Campbell from Great Britain in 4th position. Now, in the women's competition, we're going to the vault to Tatiana Ignatova, another representative of the CIS.
Check her full twist, and not a lot wrong with that. Measured approach. Strong flick from the horse. There's the full twist, and look at the landing. The round off onto the board, backflip from the horse. That the full twist, and that impressive landing.
And a good score, 9.8. Now on the Pommel horse, Shelley. 26 years old, he was at Penn State University, but clearly brought back to British gymnastics by the success our men are having.
Working well through this routine. Pommel, one of his strongest events. And staking a claim for a berth on that Olympic team for Great Britain.
It's in the World Championship side, of course, back in 1989. Good comeback, isn't it?
It is a good comeback, and this particular piece in 1989 in the World Championships was the only event that he was really satisfied with. He was pretty dejected by his performance, went out of the sport, and was inspired in 91 to come back in.
9.35, though, he would be hoping for a bit better than that. As usual, competition between the Romanians and the gymnasts of the CIS. Gogean, 3 years younger than Ignatova. cleanly spotted the full twist in Yurchenko.
You'd never tell that she was pleased with that vault, but it was a world-class performance. Again, that gather into the round-off. High from the horse, and just a little shuffle on landing. An impression of the approach. Accurate onto the board. Clean in the twist.
9.85. And the narrow lead, 0.05 for the Romanian girl from Ignatova. Rowena Roberts of Great Britain down in 5th place. And Rowena, before the competition started, had been looking back on her year and prospects with Mitch Fenner.
Tell us about the last 12 months of your gymnastic career.
Well, last year I came 6th in the British Championships and I managed to improve to 1st this time.
And how was that then? That's a big improvement.
Yes, well, I've been in the gym a lot. I train in the mornings and the evenings and go to school in between.
How many hours a day are you training?
About 6 most days, and I only have 1 day off in a week.
And how many coaches have you got?
Well, Gareth Davies, he coaches me all the time, and just before a major competition, Rita Bijot comes over for about a month.
So it's really heavy work being a top-class gymnast. What's your favourite apparatus?
Well, my favourite's beam and floor. I was British champion on beam last year and this year,
So you must now be looking forward to the Olympic Games. What are your chances?
Well, there's 3 more trials. Obviously, being British champions advantage, but I hope to go.
You're going to be in Barcelona?
Hopefully.
Well, good luck to you, Rowena Roberts.
Thank you.
Rowena Roberts.
Well, not the beam or the floor as yet for Rowena Roberts, but now we can judge her form on the bars.
She has made tremendous strides forward in the technical aspect of her work. Clean in her releases. That was a Jaeger. Full twist in that long swing. And a nice double back to wrap it all up. Good performance from Rowena. Keeps the body shape on that half turn into the Jaeger. Lots of flight and a good firm regrasp. Feature of women's work now, full of pirouettes. Twists in the long swing elements, which do make it more like the men's event, and I might say just as spectacular. Winding up to the dismount. Straddling the legs to clear the lower bar, and that's the double tuck back, which was done so neatly, so efficiently.
And 9.65, and that should move her up from her 5th place. Alexander Kolyvanov, very much ahead of the field in the first piece of apparatus. But when we look at him now, we really have to judge him against the Korobchinskys of this world. That's against whom he's got a battle if he's to get a place in Barcelona.
Well, in the past, all the pundits, former Russian champions, tipped him as a future Olympic champion. We'll just have to see. He's got to get there first. Swings well, double leg circles, good combination, well-constructed exercise, and that the pirouette to wrap up another business-like performance from Kolyvanov.
16, Alexander Kolyvanov.
Good extension in the flares. Tries to achieve split, and look, spindles as he travels the horse. Those turns look so easy, but they have to be precise. And always the swing has to be in control. He does lack just a little bit of sparkle. There's nothing wrong with his technique, and he'll take an awful lot of beating today. Good style in the double leg circles. And breaks. There you see, hit the horse, a 10th away there.
And that cost him 9.5 his score. But successful in 2 pieces of apparatus, Kolyvanov, Shelley taking second place on the Pommel horse for Great Britain. An interesting contest building up between the 3 British gymnasts, but Kolyvanov looking in a different class from everyone else here. Shelley has the lead over Robert Barber and Marvin Campbell, who are jointly in 6th place. Kolyvanov, twice the European junior champion, on course to succeed this man, Evgeny Nikolaev. But he was representing the Soviet Union. This time we will not see their flag or indeed hear their national anthem. But for all the changes in his country, Kolyvanov is confident of his ability to compete at this level.
Considering that I have competed in many international competitions on high international European level, and all the experience that I have accumulated in all those competitions, I think will be of great help to me in these competitions here.
Third piece of apparatus for Kolyvanov is the rings, which makes us think of people like Tali Sherbo, Valery Liukin. That's the standard for him all the time. Oh, what a good start.
Yes, he's pinched that one from Sherbo. He doesn't have to say quite as well as Vitaly Sherbo. But strong in the cross position. The gymnast all the time searching for a mix between the strength parts they must include and these, the swinging elements. Double front somersault, swing to handstand from it, known as a Yamawaki, and that's a full twisting double back in the straight position.
Comes off smiling, Mitch, but a little bit more movement on the rings than for some.
Yeah, that's true. This is difficult, and this is where the mishap was. He crosses the wires and then has to continue the swing. You see, he bent his arm there. That may have been a problem. Continues the swing to handstand and can't bring the rings under control. No problem here with the dismount. Full twisting double back straight. Again, a low landing. That's a feature of his work today. 9.6 they gave him.
Third success for Kolyvanov. And the 3 British competitors down in the lower group on that event. This time it's Barber, Robert Barber, who leads them. Kolyvanov with that comfortable lead. In the British contest, which could be crucial for Olympic places, Robert Barber has the edge at the moment. Back to the women's competition, and Gina Gogean of Romania is on the bars. And this is a real Olympic prospect.
She swings in a clean, crisp manner, and all the difficulty there. That's a catch out if the coach was there, but he wasn't needed. Lovely control of handstand. Moving smoothly here. This is terrific stuff. Moving smooth. Oh, dear me, that was a bad fall. She just bounces back onto her feet. But, let's have a look at just what happened. That's the full twisting long swing. Everything looked to be going fine. A long swing before the dismount, and off she comes. Interesting to note, she had no guards on. It may have affected her grip. But she's climbing back on, just to prove to everyone that she can cope with the dismount. Here it comes. And what a dismount it was. A double layout, a little shuffle forwards. But that was a class exercise. It's such a shame that she fell right at the very end. A double layout somersault. And just a little flicker, but it was a good exercise.
9.275. Now here's Curtis Hibbert as he scores after three events. Curtis Hibbert from Canada, silver medalist behind James May in the Commonwealth Games in Auckland. Oh dear.
From Canada, Hibbert.
That was a very difficult vault. Sukahara with 1.5 twists. People either put a full twist in or a double twist. He went for the middle, 1.5 twist in that Sukahara, and it didn't work out for him. Such a pity. Look at the power in the man. The cartwheel or round off onto the horse, and doesn't get his shoulder far enough forward, under rotate.
And only 8.9, was in third place. Well, this is Stephanie Woods of the United States, from Austin in Texas. Member of the national squad. Alla Caroli.
Lovely Jaeger. That's a forward somersault in the straddle position to catch. She flies. Doesn't have the pace of the little Romanian, but she's certainly challenging well. Double pike back. Creeps forward with the left foot there, but not too much for the judges to make a meal of. This is this very high flighted Jaeger, the forward somersault. Thwack as she catches the bars. Good wind up, a wide split down the back. And a good double pike back somersault. Just creeps forward.
Good score too, 9.7. Now an opportunity for Marvin Campbell as he comes to the vault, especially after the failure by Curtis Hibbert. Good quality vault from Marvin Campbell. One of his strengths, certainly.
It's a full twisting Sukahara. Strong onto the horse. Deep on the landing, but fights it and brings it together, I'm sure, for a reasonable score. Big push into the cartwheel. That's the full twist in flight.
And that should move him up a bit, 9.25. He's had better, though, in his time. Tatiana Ignatova of the CIS, a Romanian competitor, has given her certainly an opening here.
It's an astounding start. Layout body, clearance of the low bar. I've never seen that before. And look at this. These are invert swings and into a Jaeger. World-class gymnastics. Good wind-up. Double pike back. Oh, dear, dear. Now, that really was a shame. Class work all the way through and mars it in the closing seconds. Now, just look at this combination. That's a swing against the shoulder joint. Unusual enough, but watch this. A pike front somersault from it and catches so cleanly. And a cheeky little stand on the bar there just to bring it all under control. All well rehearsed and all excellent bars gymnastics. Good starter swing to handstand. Clean so far. Straddling to clear the lower bar and winding up towards that dismount. She snatched it a little, over-rotated, and that was the result. Has to be 5/10, I'm afraid.
Indeed, 9.25. And the United States competitor is the winner on the asymmetric bars, with Rowena Roberts in second place and dropping down the Romanian and CIS challenge. They both had a bad piece of apparatus there. And indeed, Stephanie Woods has taken over in the lead, being pushed by Rowena Roberts. Now, the vault for Alexander Kolyvanov. 9.65 his highest score so far. That was on the floor. So he lands offline, double twisting Sukahara. Same vault, Mitch, as Neil Thomas.
Same vault, but not in the same class. This is Neil's favourite vault. See, Kolyvanov has a problem with body line. He comes off-centre there. Try too hard to twist.
Neil and the other leading lights of British men's gymnastics leaving today's event, the Britons battling to join them in the Barcelona team. He would have hoped to have done better than that, as indeed would Kolyvanov. Scores only 9.2. Kolyvanov, in a way, suffering because of difficulty, and Marvin Campbell taking advantage. Not perhaps full advantage, because he's vaulted better than he did then, but it's certain to have moved him up. Marvin and Shelley there together. Hibbert in third. The Canadian behind the German and the CIS. And Marvin Campbell leads the British challenge. Of course, he was a part of the British team at the World Championships last year in Indianapolis.
1991 was a great year for British gymnastics, Marvin. Tell us about it. Why was it such a special year?
Last year was brilliant. It was super. We went to Indianapolis for the World Championships, hoping to get a top 12 position to send a full team to the Olympics in '92. And we went there knowing that we could do it. And the team went, and we just did an excellent job, and we came through in 12th place. It was superb.
But it was a very tight competition, wasn't it? Just how tight was it?
Oh, I don't think you could get any tighter. After the sets, we were only 0.025 or something like that in front of another very good team.
So we're talking about hundreds of marks here, the difference between the Olympic Games and staying at home.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
We're
But you
talking
got
very
there.
tight. Yeah, we got there in the end.
You've just had the British Championships, Marvin. You finished in the top 6, 5th position, I think. Does that mean you're in the running for a berth on the Olympic team?
It does, yeah, but we have to do trials like everyone else. We have to prove ourselves. But I shouldn't see any problem. I'll go to the trials and do what I know I can do.
Gina Gogean, on what she says is her favourite piece of apparatus, but she has some distance to make up after her disappointment on the asymmetric bars.
Great control in the start sequence. Into the gymnastic series of moves. The acrobatics coming up. 2 layout somersaults. Slight lean to the right there. Great concentration. Full twisting back somersault on the beam. Tremendous difficulty. Doesn't appear to be suffering too badly from a mishap on bars. Our only concern now is the dismount. And just a couple of paces, but that has made good a lot of the damage, I'm sure. Look at that. Full twisting back somersault. She needed a pace to bring it under control, but any judge would be lenient with that sort of difficulty. And this, the double back dismount.
9.85. And from one Romanian to a German who spent much of his early life in Romania, Marius Toba, the bronze medalist in the all-around competition in the German National Championships last year. Silver, Mitch, on this particular piece of apparatus.
Yes, I like this gymnast. It's clean and difficult. Makes very few mistakes in competition. Double tuck back somersault. Sharp, busy performance. This, the Healy turn, that's a full spin on one arm and straight into that straddle front somersault to upper arms. deserves a good score here. Lost his feet just a little. It's important. Toes stay pointed and legs are locked together. He drifted the legs there. You can see that'll be a 10th away and the landing.
9.55 for the German. At 9.55, the performance of Toba was the pick of the parallel bars, not of the highest standard perhaps. But a change in the winner of a piece of apparatus, although Kolyvanov still leads, with Toba now in second place. Curtis Hibbert third, the Hungarian fourth, and Marvin Campbell still leading in a tight British competition. Back to the beam, and Tatiana Ignatova. She got to match the Romanian competitor. Fine start.
Super start. Layout somersault from a round off. See how they pause to gather concentration before these acrobatic skills. 2 backflips and a layout back somersault. That's nice. Corbett flick through the tuck position and opens into the straddle layout. And look at that lovely line in split. Back somersault. Well, that for me was a superb beam exercise. Tremendous acrobatic series, under control. It's a slight dip of the shoulder at the end, and she matched her agility, as you can see here, with a Corbett flick, with a great degree of presence. Very elegant performance all round, and this the all-important dismount, which he performed really well. Not a lot wrong with that.
And she's given the same score as Gogean, 9.85. And that the best score in the beam competition. Rowena Roberts, 9.55, living well in this company. And the representatives of Slovenia finding life a little hard. But it's still Stephanie Woods in front from the Romanians, and Rowena Roberts holding 4th place behind Ignatova. Floor to come for the women, and for the men it's the high bar, where earlier during practice Curtis Hibbert talked about the event to Mitch Fenner.
Curtis Hibbert, that was very impressive stuff. I see you swing around the bar on one arm there. Any special training required for that?
Oh, not really. We learn it basically through our normal giant, 2 arms. And then from there, you just have to learn how to let go and trust yourself.
But you've got powerful shoulders and huge biceps. Aren't they a help?
Not necessarily. They're extra weight. Once you have that extra weight, it's harder to hold on. But at the same time, you've developed those muscles specifically towards gymnastics, so it does help in the long run.
Listen, you were a World Championship silver medalist in '87. What are the prospects this year, you think, of actually making a final in Barcelona for high bar?
Oh, well, I hope. I've changed my routine a little bit, added a little bit more difficulty. It's going to be difficult, of course, because Canada didn't qualify as a team, so we hope the best for myself, and, you know, it's going to be tough, but I think it might happen.
Curtis Hibbert They're emphasizing a point which in the Olympics in Barcelona will work to Britain's advantage, having a full team there. Let's look at Hibbert's high bar routine here in Birmingham.
One-arm Kachev. And he has included new difficulty. That's the one-arm Ginger, all named after gymnasts that performed them, in some cases up to 20 years ago. Amazing to think. Now that's a new combination of full twisting somersault over the bar to catch. And a full twisting double layout. Slightly uncertain on the landing, but that's a good run out. Certainly tried and tested that routine. Will need to sharpen his leg style though. He's going to make any impression on an Olympic final. That was the one-arm Kachev. And the one-arm Ginger to make the complete set. Now, you daren't use more on one arm. The judges will deduct for too many swings. Winding up to this unusual skill over the top of the bar, you see a full twist to catch. Powerful in those long swings, and kicks into the full twisting double layout.
9-5 for Curtis Hibbert. Now to the floor, to the current leader, Stephanie Woods. You see an American on the floor. You're tending to think these days of Kim Zemeskal and making comparisons. World champion in Indianapolis, Zemeskal. Oh dear. A little untidy what followed too. A better finish for Stephanie Woods, but fancy, Mitch, that Rowena Roberts might feel she'll do better than that.
Yes, you made an interesting point earlier, Barry, about Zemeskal. She used that skill, but did two more in that run. And of course, this young lady doesn't tumble quite as high as the world champion. But for all that, the exercise was well choreographed. She snatched that double back just a little. She'll need to brush up on a tumble if she's going to get in that American team. Double twisting back somersault to wrap up the exercise.
9.675. Will that be good enough? Now let's look at Marvin Campbell. There are his scores. Can he end with a bit of style here on the high bar?
Well, he'll certainly go for broke. Typical Marvin. That's a Marinich. Tremendous. And Kachev. Second Kachev. No holds barred. And what will he dismount with? It's a triple back. Well, the skills were world class, but the presentation of the exercise needs to be tidied up. But for all that, you can't criticise the difficulty. That was a Marinich. Starts as a Kachev and turns into a front somersault. Mind-boggling. And consecutive Kachevs, but you can see the leg style is not all that it should be. If he could just tidy that up. Who knows? Those are the inverted swings that we saw the Russian girl performing. Swings against the shoulder joint. And this, the wind-up to the dismount. Got to bang those knees together. He's not going to lose tenths, but it was a triple back. It was a good exercise, and 9.5 was a fair score.
Now on the floor, Tatiana Ignatova needs 9.85 to take the lead. Time, and then she takes 2 or 3 paces to set up the first tumble run, which albeit is a very good one.
Tremendous difficulty there. Pike Arabian 1 3/4 somersault.
Well, the tumbling was certainly the best part of it. I don't quite understand these long pauses waiting. If you're going to use the music, use it, surely.
Well, I think these days there far more attention is being paid to choreography, and this little lady needs to work a bit harder on that aspect. But certainly not there. That was a full twisting double back somersault. The tumbling was class. Look at that, the 1 3/4 Pike Arabian somersault landed very heavily, but still recovered into the gymnastic leaps. And strange to say, but a double pike back somersault dismount, which is what she used, is slightly down on difficulty for a routine of that class.
And costly, because by 0.025 her score is not good enough for the lead. Now, Rowena Roberts. Good, consistent scoring, but she would hope to improve upon those marks in this, her favourite piece, national champion of Great Britain and champion on the floor.
Solid start.
Clever choice of music, bearing in mind Barcelona. Bizet's Carmen.
Super combination.
really well executed double tuck back somersault to complete a very good floor routine by Rowena Roberts.
Yes, I would agree with that totally. It was well choreographed, lifted the audience, and she lifted that somersault. Look at that, a double pike somersault. That's how she started. And this, the impressive twisting line, that's 1.5 twists, bounces into a front somersault. And still, she tumbles. All of her tumbles were precise. High, clean, and controlled.
9.8 her score. Well, that proves good enough to put her in the top 3. Back to the high bar to Alexander Kolyvanov. Needs a pretty lowish score to win the competition. I've been making comparisons all afternoon. We're now thinking in terms of Grigori Masutin, or maybe a bit further back to Bilozerchev.
Well, Bilo never performed a skill like that for all his great skills. And up was a Kovac, somersault over the bar to catch. And a triple back with knees jammed together, which is unusual to see. A pace back, but he can be forgiven that.
Yes, well, that one was a touch of Liukin's dismount.
Yeah, another great name. Valery Liukin. That was a Kovac over the bar to catch. And winds into the triple back dismount. Pulls tight. Perhaps just a little too tight. That pace kept the mark down to 9.5.
And on the high bar, 3 had 9.5. The other 2, Marvin Campbell of Great Britain and Curtis Hibbert of Canada. Robert Barber had a 9.45, better than Ian Shelley, dropping at 8.8. No doubt about the winner. Kolyvanov always looking likely to take the title. Which of the Britons come out on top was the home debate, and Marvin Campbell, who knows what it's like to be in a successful team, is the best of the 3. Ladies' title yet to be decided. This young lady needs 9.775 to win it.
And if she keeps that up, she'll get it.
Thought, Mitch, technically all there, but the presentation leaves a bit. Such a stern expression.
I really do wish she'd smile, because such superb gymnastics. She just needed that little bit of presentation, a whip over somersault, back flip into a full twisting double back, and her landings throughout. They just didn't give anything away. She's on course for the score with tumbling like this. Double tuck back somersault. A little pace to bring it under control, but the way she completed the exercise, well, if only she smiled to go with it. Look at this, full twisting double back somersault, only the dust moved.
Perhaps she'll smile on the winner's rostrum. 9.925. Marina Roberts sharing second place with Tatiana Ignatova with her floor routine, which was an excellent one. Annalisa Aklam in 5th place, and the other British girl, Jackie Brady, 7th on the floor. The all-around title for the 14-year-old from Romania, Gina Gogean, and a successful afternoon too for Britain's 14-year-old Rowena Roberts in 4th place. Jackie Brady finishes 6th, Annalisa Aklam 7th. So John Jenkinson hands over the Daily Mirror and Sunday Mirror Champions All International Cup to a little girl who finally smiles, albeit fleetingly, Gina Gogean.
Presenting the silver medal from the USA, Stephanie Woods.
Stephanie Woods in 2nd place and Tatiana Ignatova in 3rd. And the men's champion, the name of the country changes, but not, it appears, the standard of their gymnasts. Alexander Kolyvanov is the Champions All International champion.
And Curtis Hibbert, presented by Mr. Hill.
So the 27th competition comes to an end. The standard is maintained, and we have a couple of names at least to look out for to see if they're among the entrants for the Olympic Games in Barcelona.